How dare you stand there and lie to my face? Everyone saw what you did. You're overreacting, you said. It's not that serious. Well, let me tell you, there are two kinds of people in this world. The kind who panic when they see a pink slip taped to their door, and the kind who laugh and go make coffee. I was brushing my teeth when I saw that bright pink notice slapped dead center on my front door, flapping in the breeze like a parking ticket on a getaway car. HOA violation. $70 for an unapproved flag. Not just me, either, our whole street. $70 each, like Oprah handing out fines instead of cars. What was my crime? The flag on my porch, a little rainbow heart my sister gave me last Christmas after the hardest year of my life. You know, something that actually made me smile. But nope, not on Karen's watch. Karen, the HOA president, decided that little heart was a threat to community harmony. Which is pretty funny, considering her yard was practically a billboard for kindness, with 3 giant signs about love and neighborliness. But sure, my tiny heart flag? That's the danger. I try to play nice. Seriously, I did. I baked cookies, dug out the bylaws, and walked into the next HOA meeting like some kind of suburban peace envoy. I even waited my turn, then asked politely what rule I'd supposedly broken. Karen smiled at me like she just got away with stealing the sun. She pulled out this fresh-off-the-printer decor policy she'd written herself just last week and waved it around like it was the Constitution. According to her, all flags not on the approved list were now verboten. And guess how many flags were on that list? 2, the national flag and the state flag. Anything else was apparently an assault on order. Oh, and if you don't pay the fine, late fees stack up faster than dandelions in spring. Folks in the room started shifting in their seats, like maybe they were waking up from a long nap. Somebody whispered, "It's only 70. That's how they get you. It's never just 70, is it? It's about control. That's the game. I thought, okay, let's try the official route. I rallied a few neighbors, got 3 to send formal letters appealing the fines. The board reviewed our appeals for maybe 5 minutes, then rubber-stamped a denial. Out in the parking lot afterward, a board member sidled up to me and muttered, "We can't cross Karen. She'll come for our yards next." And you know what? He wasn't exaggerating. This is the same woman who once measured my grass with a ruler and left a note if I missed a patch. At that point, I decided it was time to stop being polite and start being strategic. First order of business, read every boring word of those HOA bylaws. Not the summary, not the friendly FAQ, the actual soul-sucking fine print. That's where the gold is, and boy did I strike it. 2 things popped out. 1, the board can't create new fines out of thin air. They need a proper vote and written notice. 2, any homeowner can request official records and even call a special meeting if they get enough signatures. Well, guess who's got time and a love for paperwork? That's right. I sent a certified letter asking for every scrap of documentation on the new flag policy and the fines, emails, meeting minutes, the whole messy paper trail. Then I checked state law, just in case. Turns out, the law's actually on our side for once. State code protects all sorts of flags on private property. Not just the country flag, but also service flags, honor flags, holiday flags, and a lot of things Karen had never bothered to Google. Of course, her 2-flag approved list didn't care about any of that. Then I did what Karen never saw coming. I went for a walk. Clipboard in hand, I started knocking on doors. People peeked through the blinds like I was selling life insurance. But when they opened up, they had stories. Oh boy, did they have stories. One neighbor got a warning for having 2 garden gnomes. Another got roasted on Facebook for painting their mailbox pink. I listened, I nodded, I showed them where the bylaws said the fines were bogus with sticky notes and highlighter. No yelling, no drama, just facts. I gathered signatures the way Karen handed out fines. And while I was at it, I set a little trap on our neighborhood Facebook page. I posted a simple question: what kind of flags do you all like to put up? People jumped in with pictures, sports flags, summer bunting, holiday banners, you name it. Karen herself couldn't resist. She posted a picture of her house last 4th of July, decked out in more red, white, and blue than a used car lot. I screenshotted that so fast my phone nearly overheated. Finally, Records Day rolled around. The HOA manager looked like he'd rather be anywhere else as he handed me a thin folder. Inside, it was pure gold. There was no record of any vote on the new fines. No advance notice to the homeowners. But there was an invoice. Karen had ordered custom compliance door hangers with her name on them, paid out of HOA funds, 2 weeks before she ever posted about the new decor rules. Meaning, she planned the fines first, then made up the rule after. Just for fun, I followed up on a rumor about Karen's infamous privacy fence, the one that made her backyard look like Fort Knox. Quick call to the city inspector, and wouldn't you know, there was no permit on file. Turns out, she'd also built a massive storage shed back there, also unpermitted. Did I tattle? Nope. I just asked the city a friendly little question. The inspector said he'd take a drive sometime. Armed with my stack of signatures, I called a special meeting. Let me tell you, the clubhouse was packed. Phones out, everyone on edge. Karen strutted in late, high heels ticking like a countdown clock. She tried to open with her usual, "Let's all be civil." I looked her right in the eye and said, "Great, let's start with the law." I put the bylaws on the projector for everyone to see, pointed out the section about needing a vote for new fines, and showed the complete lack of minutes proving any such vote. Then I held up that invoice for her custom door hangers. A ripple of whispers moved through the crowd. And then, my favorite part, I threw up the screenshot of her house smothered in holiday bunting. "This is beautiful," I said, "but by your own rules, this is an unapproved flag." The room started laughing, first a few, then everyone. Somebody even clapped. That's when Karen tried to kill the projector. Too late, somebody was already live streaming. "No recording," she yelled, waving her phone. Then, she called the police. Right there, in front of everyone, she called the cops and said I was disrupting the meeting. 2 officers showed up, looking about as interested as you'd expect. The taller one asked, "Whose meeting is this?" I handed him the notice, all legal with signatures. He nodded and said, "This is a civil matter. He's allowed to speak." The whole room cheered. Karen's face turned the shade of a ripe tomato, and honestly, I would have paid money to get that on a t-shirt. Right on cue, the city inspector walked in. He had a clipboard, some paperwork, and a camera around his neck. "I'm here for the fence and the shed," he announced. He asked Karen to step outside, trailed by half the room's cell phones. 10 minutes later, she marched back and holding a violation notice and wearing a smile so brittle it looked like cracked glass. We took the vote then and there, a motion to rescind all fines and remove Karen as HOA president. You should have seen it. Hands shot up like popcorn. The board's attorney, who hadn't said a word all night, finally spoke up. The fines were not valid. The policy was not adopted correctly. Refunds will be issued. I also recommend new elections. The place exploded in applause. Somebody in the back actually yelled, "Ding dong, the witch is gone." Which, for the record, I did not say, but I'm not going to lie, I laughed. The aftermath felt better than any blockbuster movie. Everyone got their $70 back. Late fees, too. We passed a new flag guideline, one that focused on safety, not control. Karen had to take down her illegal fence and fix the shed or face daily fines from the city. The real kind, not just Karen dollars. She resigned from the board for personal reasons, and nobody missed her. We threw a block party the next weekend. Flags everywhere. Team flags, garden flags, pride flags, holiday flags, even a goofy cat flag someone made just for fun. Kids ran wild, eating popsicles on the curb, and neighbors who hadn't spoken in months stood around talking like old friends. Was I petty? Maybe. But honestly, I was just tired. Tired of being told to be small, tired of paying for someone else's power trip, tired of living under one person's thumb in a place where I pay the mortgage. We didn't just get our money back, we got our street back. And now, every time I see that little rainbow heart flag fluttering on my porch, I remember the night we yanked our neighborhood out of one person's pocket and put it right back where it belongs, in all of our hands. So, tell me, do you think she got what she deserved, or did we go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's hear your stories. If you've ever gone toe-to-toe with a power-tripping HOA or seen justice served, I want to know. And hey, stick around for more real-life neighborhood showdowns, because around here, the story's never really over.